what was his name? Green Goblin, yeah. And Aunt May's she's saying her prayers at night, whatever the hell she was saying, Hail Mary or something. And the Green Goblin comes flying through the window, and she's screaming her prayer, and he's screaming, "Finish it!" And it's the most disturbing thing. Like wow, like there's this whole weird Christian thing going on, and oh god, so now like me and Shmoo, like we run around and somebody says finish, and we're both like, "Finish it!" It's just the first thing out of my mouth. So, so I hadn't screamed that tape yet, so I had to get something out. Anyway, a couple of quick announcements. I think potentially only one because it's all I can remember. The Hack Arcade is going to be shutting down about 1 o'clock. And if you have tickets on your token that you haven't spent, this is your last opportunity, because then we are going to basically archive some swag for next year, and stuff that isn't timeless is going to be thrown into the audience at random. So if you've got stuff, tickets, go take care of it by 1, or else you'll just have to wait for the random stuff. On that note, so Johnny Long's going to come up and talk, and Johnny submitted 3 abstracts for the conference, as Johnny does, and so we accepted Johnny, ... and didn't tell him what talk he was going to give. Like, which one did you accept? Hey, that's a great question. And so he had to be ready to fire on all barrels on a variety of topics. And what we ended up actually asking him to talk about is hacking Hollywood. So I don't want to give the intro that he's going to give, but we've all seen idiotic movies that have like crazy security shit in them, and you're like, that's so stupid. That never happens like that. Yeah. That's not a bash prompt. So Johnny's going to kind of walk us through and entertain as much as he is going to educate, I think, so, which is pretty much his nature. So we're really happy to have Johnny here talking. What we're going to do is he's going to come and do his thing, and then we're going to go and just go straight into closing afterwards. So we'll be giving out lots of swag at the closing, so stick around. Get your raffle tickets ready for that, because we'll be using random chance again. So without further ado, Johnny.
There are no flaming hoops. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, Bruce was absolutely right. I had sort of no idea what was going to happen here, and sort of still have no idea what's going to happen here. So let me first start with a disclaimer. This is an experimental talk. I learned to use disclaimers from Bruce. We'll talk about that at the end. Actually, I owe a lot of my speaking foo to watching Bruce. I mean, Bruce can throw down up here. Am I not correct? Yes. All right. So there's my disclaimer. Here's who I am. Most of you guys know me, so I've just gone to the short list. Family Guy, author, hacker, and generally all-around nice guy. Self-proclaimed, of course. All right. So that's me. You probably can't read a word of this, which is fine. But this is legal CYA stuff at its best. I'm abusing a lot of Hollywood film, and I need to give them credit where credit is due, so it's due, so there it is. These are the various media types that we're going to abuse. Now, what I'm going to do here is, like Bruce said, you guys have all seen these movies, right? And you just want to abuse these things to death. I sort of have a hunch, though, that Hollywood's got it all figured out, and it's you guys that are actually lame. I've watched a lot of these movies. I'm starting to figure out how this works. But we're gonna practice a few hacker terms, because we're gonna have voting on a couple clips. So all together, can we say the first term, leet? Leet. That was lame. Come on, a little better. Leet. Leet. Excellent. All right. And then the counterpart to leet is, of course, lame. So can I get a lame? Lame. Very nice. All right. So we're gonna do some voting through here, and I'll say leet or lame, and we'll get the leets to call out, we'll get the lames to call out, and we'll figure out which is which. All right, so our first category is the good guys. And the little excerpt that I start this is from Bruce Sterling's The Zenith Angle. U.S. Cyberspace Force, he shouted from the keyboard, freeze! Now, this is from the keyboard, of course, as the U.S. Cyberspace Force generally tends to do. Yeah, anybody from the Cyberspace Force here? That's worth a shot. All right, the first quote is from Net Force. How many of you have seen the movie Net Force? Anyone? Oh, you guys are in for some schooling. All right, the first quote, and now granted this is for the feds in the audience because the hackers really aren't going to get any of this stuff. The first quote is, "I'm going to get the legal warrants from e-court." So everybody can vote. So how many leets? Can I hear a leet? How many lames? Lame. Aha. Okay, man, you guys have some learning to do. This is ecourt.org. And as you can see, I've circled the legal forms section. So if you ever need to get your e-warrants, there they are. They're waiting for you. All right, see, the feds have it rough because even once you get your legal warrant from e-court, there's still a possibility that you might accidentally time jump your e-warrant, at which point you'll need skin transplants. I'm not sure which is funnier, the transplants or the e-jumping, or what time jumping, whatever this thing is. All right, next one. Anybody know of any good Fed websites? Just go ahead and call them out. Whitehouse.com. Gov. Sorry. Gov. Yeah, that's a good one. How about the FedSec security monitoring homepage? Anybody been there? It's a good site. Don't deface it now. No, actually, if you find it, let me know. I'll hook you up with a book. I used my Google foo and I couldn't find it, so. Yeah. All right. How about this one? Jay, your group should start browsing the online sex ports. You guys are good. I got to give it to you. I hear a lot of leads out there. Let me just show you how this actually works. This is Nmap. All right. So I had to take a guess on what the sex ports were. So 69 and 6969 seem like good candidates. So what we do is we scan them to find out which ones are online. So these are the online sex ports, and then we use links to actually browse the online sex ports. So Hollywood wins again. I missed a sex port. Which one? 6942. That's good. I don't understand what that means, but that's a good one too. All right, let's move right along. As if the sex ports weren't bad enough, this guy also suggests checking out the virtual brothels. So, show of hands, how many of you ever visit a virtual brothel? You should be ashamed of yourselves. It's your hand. It was not mine. You don't have a virtual brothel. All right, now some movies actually get it right. Can anybody tell me what this building is? NSA, absolutely. Enemy of the state gets it dead right. This is a national security agency. Do you guys notice anything strange about this video footage, particularly the ceiling? There's no comm gear. Yeah, so what I think happened is that NSA authorized the flyby with the film crew, but they took all their gear off the roof before it happened. You know, I'm pretty sure it wasn't digitally remastered in any way. So let's another clip here from Enemy of the State. NSA conducts worldwide surveillance, fax, phone, satellite communication. Yeah, well, obviously, that one's true. So another score for Enemy of the State. So let's review this section.
Look, I'm going to get the legal warrants from e-court. Time jumping, E-warrant again. Legal warrants, E-warrant, legal warrants, E-warrant again. Your asses are going to need skin transplants. Jay, your group should start browsing the online sex ports.
Tough assignment. Let's not forget the virtual brothels. Brothels.
Sex ports. Skin transplants.
Boom! There you go. All right, so. All right, the fun is just beginning. All right, I need to talk to you guys about your appearance. I've seen lots of dress codes in play here, and to be honest with you, I don't really approve of any of them because, well, Hollywood doesn't. So the first thing is that I've seen lots of feds here. None of you are wearing your Kevlar. All right, so a few rounds comes through the audience and hits you, you're just done for, okay? So you're not doing your job very well. And also your helmet cam and your Darth Vader laser-sighted headset thing is missing too, so bad fed. Also, I haven't seen many feds with the dark suit, white shirt, dark tie, goofy 1950s glasses, sidearm, and one eye closed. Okay. Rest assured, he is a federal officer. Then there's this guy. He has the suit as well, the dark suit and the sidearm. Of course, he's making an arrest under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act of 1986. Show of hands, anybody ever been arrested under that? No, I didn't see any hands. That's good. All right. Here's some more of the dress code. This is Brian Dennehy. Notice he's opted for the red tie with the little dot things on it. I'm not too sure about that. I like his line though. You computer cops make the civil liberties people real uneasy. I mean, hey, that's a good one. All right, but I'm not so sure about the red tie. Real feds don't wear red ties like that. Then again, maybe some of them do. Mr. Jim, you're not here, are you? Okay, good. Next slide. Also, I haven't noticed anyone wearing their storage devices in their underwear. I've seen lots of underwear for sale, but none of them have like floppy holders. So, bad news for you guys. Sometimes they're just slow across the plate like that, and I just let you hit it out for me. Of course, Hollywood's not big on the floppy things because like they're so 1980s. Let's go to the new millennium here. Yes, this is an electronic umbilical data transfer system. This is what the real hackers in the movies wear, especially the ones in Game Over. Anybody No. All right, the other thing I haven't noticed is I haven't seen anybody showing up in their headgear. I mean, last conference I saw quite a few. There was some headgear in force, but I don't see any of you guys wearing your headgear, so obviously you're not real hackers. Or your hand gear. Can anybody tell me what this thing is? I heard it. It's a Nintendo Power Glove. You guys are good. From the 80s, the Nintendo Power Glove. A very, very popular piece of hacker gear in the movies. Again, enemy of the state, not so bad, actually. You know, less is more. I've seen these things sort of around. I haven't seen the glasses, though. Not quite sure what I think of that. But headgear is actually a real thing. I tried to find a picture of Joe Grand, somebody in the loft wearing one of these. I couldn't find one, but here's a real Fed wearing his headgear. And this one looks like it came right out of a Hollywood movie. I got a tour of this place called DC3, and they had this this guy like soldering a microcontroller or something. I was like, oh, that's elite. And he had his headgear and the smoke and the green tools, and I was just like, dude, you rock. All right, let's talk about screenshots for a second. I've seen lots of screenshots in movies. I wanted to stop the tape for a few moments and actually see what some of these things had to say. Now, here's a test for you. You're hacking. I'm guessing this is like a web app. And you get this message that says, suspicious activity has been detected in the system control code. Now, remember, you're the hacker, right? Which button are you going to go for? Do you cancel your system activity, or do you allow your system activity? Well, I see lots of Microsoft folks here. I want to keep the swag coming, so I'll back off on that one. Actually, the answer is to not click either button, but to actually use some computer code to force and allow 5038NR. Which I think at this point, this guy's just showing off, because you just click the button, for God's sakes. All right. So can anybody tell me what's wrong with this screen? This is a classified system, so if you're not clear, don't look. Meteorological control system. That's bad too. I'll give you a clue. It's towards the bottom in the system banner. They spelled offense wrong. So my guess is you're only breaking the law if you're British and you attack this site. All right, how about this one? This is the Thunderhead Weather Technology System. Notice anything wrong about this site? It's obviously been defaced. But anything funny towards the left there? Binary. Yeah, well, that's pretty interesting. Let's zoom in because they use this same garbage somewhere else. And it flies by like, this is like a half of frame, so this is like a 60th of a second flying by. Well, I tried to do a little bit of digging to find out what exactly this was, and what do you know? The McCarthy Talent Agency is actually located at that address. Not too sure how happy they are about their address being in a hacker movie. All right, this low and slow across the plate. Leet or lame? Leet. Absolutely. This is the Matrix. Matrix did it right. There's Nmap. Fyodor, are you still here? I just wanted to mention this Matrix Nmap thing to you one more time, as if you hadn't heard it enough. Okay. Isn't that unbelievable? I mean, like, the best thing that ever happened to hackers in the movies, and there's no credit.
And then he asked to use a screenshot in his book, and they're like, that's the right.
It's Hollywood. You'll understand as I get through this talk. It's another planet. Oh. You know, I think I'm going to do a different talk. I think I'm just going to do stuff that incites riot, and then I invite people to come up on the stage and just shoot each other with ping pong guns. All right, I'm going to skip. This is hard to see, but this was from Antitrust. I really dug this. Now, Antitrust basically monitored hackers. They set up surveillance system and watched hackers. So this is a camera from the ceiling looking at a hacker's console. Now, the thing that I thought was kind of cool is that they actually suck the text off the screen with the little program on the right-hand side, which is an optical character recognition program. I was like, that's kind of cool. So I got to give them credit for that. That's not bad at all. As is this interesting screenshot. Can anybody see this code? It's hard to read, but yeah, this is actually legitimate code that's parsing HTTP headers in Antitrust. So I'm like, I got to give them credit there. They did it again with the mount command. I mean, this stuff's flying by very quickly, but you got to give them credit. And these commands as well. I know they're hard to see, but you know, trust me, they worked. All right, now let's get a reading on this one. Leet or lame? All right, how many leets? Ah, there we go. How many lames? Lame. Okay, so the consensus is lame. You all suck. That's actually TCP dump output. Yeah, and they wrapped it in a nice little GUI. I'm not sure which module that is for TCP dump or how that works, but all right, back to enemy of the state. Here's a Sun desktop. The question is, does the Sun hardware actually match the OS that's running? Now, the Buddhas aside, I got to give them some credit because that's actually a Sun OS desktop, but the dancing Buddhas, not so much. Now, this is the worm generator tool. The worm generator tool, ladies and gentlemen. How many leets? How many lames? Okay, if you look on the left-hand side there, that text on the left-hand side is actually output from the hunt tool, believe it or not, which I gotta say is pretty leet. And the code on the right we're gonna talk about, but let's put that one in the leet category for now. All right, hacker gear. Now, can anybody tell me what this thing is? Think hard. Hearing laser cannon, camera, iris burning tool, all sorts of things. So this will give you an idea of what it's used for. Notice the dial on the back. I call this two-factor authentication. Yeah, no, not rectal, retinal. But that'd be funny too. That would be many factors. Yeah, it's actually a retinal scanner, believe it or not. How about this elite piece of hardware? This is the actual hacker keyboard from the movie Hackers. Anything missing? Yeah, he's touch typing, of course, because you know letters and numbers are for lamers. Right. Yeah, it does it? That's a real thing. That would suck for me. I would just be lost. That would be terrible for me. Hacker workstations in the movies. I mean, this actually isn't half bad, right? Post-it notes, a big mess. A couple apples laying on their side. You know, not too bad. Nice. I'm gonna ignore the data center comment. And actually, Swordfish, which I really beat the living tar out of, isn't all that bad. I mean, this workstation. Yeah, I mean, totally. This is real gear. The OC8 500 connection to the internet or whatever the heck that thing was, not so much. But yeah, and trying to get your screensavers to match like that would probably drive you absolutely insane. Again, more footage. This again from this DC3 tour I took. This is some guy's workstation. I was just like, dude, that's right out of Swordfish. I mean, so I also like the General Lee in the upper left-hand corner. It's General Lee with an LI and a Japanese flag. That's right. I like that. Can anybody tell me what's wrong with this picture? Well, first, let's work from the top down here. He's got his headset on, right? Now, how in the name of God can he see the screen? Right. Okay, that's the first problem. Then it could be translucent. That's right. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm lame. That's right. Let's go a little bit lower. What's that little box there in the middle? VCR. Exactly, with no wires connected to it. So this is a wireless VCR DVD combo. You have a question? Good point. Come on, it's through his umbilical data transfer system. I mean, you got to have a little imagination. All right, but now that's not the only thing that's wrong with this. This DVD player actually ejects floppy disks as well. Now, I mean, as funny as this is, I could picture this over in the Hacker Arcade. Dude, you've got a wireless DVD player that spits out floppies? That's totally hot. Okay, we'll have to get a vote on this. This is insanely great. It's got a 28.8 BPS modem. All right, how many people for LEET? How many people for lame? Okay, man, you guys really got to check into your hardware. Go to Google, do a search for 28.8 BPS modem, click over to Frugal. There's lots of places that sell 28.8 BPS modems starting at $17. This is real technology, folks. The problem is that, as Google suggests, it's supposed to be 28.8K BPS modems. All right, I won't even show you how slow 28.8 BPS is. And what about this one? I find VR so much more interesting than the old emoticon. I mean, with the new codec and the mega modems with compression, I mean, it's so lifelike. So how many people for lead? How many people for lame? All right, obviously you guys need to look into your hardware. Come on, people, work with me here. Frugal, mega modems with compression. Right there, sold by Cisco for 20 grand. You guys are supposed to be hackers. You don't know your hardware? Come on. All right. Enemy of the State does okay with hardware. You know, we actually got a lock-picking gun here. Not bad. Some surveillance gear, which is actually a camera with a long-range lens and a parabolic microphone. Nothing fancy, but, you know, gets the job done. So let's review that section.
Man, you know, the retinal scare me, do you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I find VR so much more satisfying than the old Emoto time. I mean, with the new codec and the mega modems with compression. I mean, it's also lifelike. That's in the old Emoto time. Mega modems with Emoto time with compression. It's also lifelike.
Oh, yeah.
Lifelike. That's
Insanely great. It's insanely great. It's got a 28.8 BPS modem.
it's also lifelike. That's
Oh, yeah. All right, let's talk technique here. Let's talk skills. Let's have a little discussion about stealth, shall we? I'm sure you guys know a thing or two about this. Let's test your knowledge. First up for vote is jump-off points. I got 6 jump-off points set up. If someone tries to track you, it'll take 3 minutes to get here. 6 jump-off points, 3 minutes. Okay, this is your chance at greatness. Leet or lame? I hear a couple of leads. You guys, all right, let me talk to you about jump-off points. Jump-off points, right? You got a source. You got a jump-off point, number 1. Number 2, it goes to your target, looks something like this. What's wrong with this technology? Jump-off points. Come on, people, work with me. All right, let me give you another picture of what jump-off points might look like. You got the Internet and Mintel and Merck Global and BK Bell, and these are your jump-off points. Anybody for LEET yet? right, how many Firefox users do we have in the room? Rock on. Keep those hands up. Obviously, you don't look into your settings very often because here it is right in Firefox. The configure internet jump off points. And if your version doesn't have that, you're just lame. I heard somebody say proxy. The word proxy isn't in there. Firefox took it out, or I photoshopped it. All right, lesson 2, and this is an easy one. Always deactivate the satellite tracking. Oh boy, all right, it's up for vote. Leet? Or lame? You guys are getting the hang of this. Okay, here it is, the satellite tracking driver for Linux. Predicts your satellite passes, disable tracking, or I always have to release an O-Day, so here it goes. Something I found through Amazon.com. If you go to Amazon when you order your satellite, this is Toshiba's brand of it, right? You order your satellite from Amazon and you get this little link where you can actually track your satellite. So you disable your satellite tracking through Amazon. You should be in good shape. How about this stealth technique? A little hard to read. We are telnetting. That's a bonus point. Where are we telnetting? We're telnetting to a .mil. That's two bonus points. Yes, we are telnetting to an email address. All right, all you IDS fools out there, how many of you have ever caught somebody telnetting to an email address? That's the definition of stealth. All right, and this is great advice. You don't hack a bank across state lines from your house. You get nailed by the FBI. Everybody knows this. Absolutely, it's totally elite. Now, this, I just had to shake my head. If you guys can't... If you can't read it, you have to look lower. Come on. All right. I'll read it to you since obviously there's problems. UWBs are relays in a closed ComNet. They carry multiple messages, even decoys. We're invisible, right?
No, I decoys.
It does. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I just had to shake my head. So here it is in review. First of all, use jump-off points. You get 30 seconds per hop. You deactivate your satellite tracking. Don't telnet to ports. Always telnet to email addresses. Never hack banks across state lines. And please use closed ComNets with multiple messages and decoys. All right. You guys follow that advice, you'll never get caught. All right, let's talk a little incident response here. All right, you got a hacker that's irritating you. You know, you want to do the right thing. Strike back is the wrong thing, so don't do that. So let's try multiple choice. You've got a hacker. Should you A, insist on more strenuous action? Anybody for A? B, flag it, run a trace, put it on a code priority. Ooh. How about Echo 23, see what's up? Anybody? D, go to emergency override. Yeah, there it is. E, error out the emergency system. F, terminate the diagnostic. G, switch to auxiliary. Yeah. Or H, all of the above. We're in Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, insist on more strenuous action. These hackers try to get into our system again. At this point, I insist you take more strenuous action. Valid choice number 1. Valid choice number 2. Hacker? Could be. Flag it. Run a trace. Put them on a code priority. Valid choice number 2. C. Let's Echo 23. See what's up. D. Can't you go to emergency override? Now, this is coming from the boss. So the first thing the guy at the keyboard does is look over his shoulder. You mean that emergency override back there? You could error out the emergency system, thanks to Trinity and the Matrix, which is about as close to reality as we've got here, folks. I've got an intruder. I'm terminating the diagnostic. I love this. This guy is great. We'll talk more about him. Somebody said he looked like me. I have a schmooball gun up here. Don't say that. All right, G, switch to auxiliary. Now, the problem with switching to auxiliary in this particular case is that he doesn't know how stable it is. Anybody see the little blurb in the background? Remember, all the stuff's behind him. Well, that little blurb, we blew it up here and actually read what it says. That's a DOS autoexec.bat file. I guess that explains the stability issue. Yikes. All right, so let's review.
Those hackers tried to get into our system again.
Hacker?
Could be.
Flag it and run a trace. Run a trace.
You must be the brains of this operation.
Run a trace. Flag it and run a trace. Put them on code priority. Code priority.
At this point, I insist you take more strenuous action. Let's Echo 23, see what's up.
You must be the brains of this operation.
Run a trace.
Initiating immediate trace on hacker.
Get an intruder. I'm terminating the diagnostic.
Can't you go to emergency override?
Okay, there we are.
Our experts are not as smart as theirs.
Could be.
Switching to auxiliary. I'm terminating the diagnostic.
Not as smart as theirs.
Flag it and run a trace. Put them on code priority. Code priority.
Players in the game. Players in the game.
Not as smart as theirs.
Could be.
I think the winning line is, our experts are not as smart as theirs. Could be. All right, so now what? Hacker's still at you. What are you going to do? Let's go multiple choice again. Do you A, use authority? Ooh. B, treat your network like a Windows box? Oh. C, put up an electronic barrier? D, jam it? Or E, call tech support? Or F, all of the above? All right, let's review our options. Use NetForce authority to override now. Is NetForce here? Right. Okay, so that's option A. Option B, what do you do when your Windows box isn't working? How do you fix it? Absolutely, you reboot it. So no response, I'm going to have to do a full reboot. Now, bear in mind, he's not talking about his machine, he's talking about his network here. Show of hands, how many people have ever done a full reboot of their network? Excellent. You feel this guy's pain then. Absolutely. All right, a barrier is not a bad idea. Now, if you don't want to pin yourself down as a tech person and you don't want to get burned by your own solution, you don't get too specific. You don't say things like firewall or router, you know, or closed switch. What you say is something like, you should put up some sort of electronic barrier. And then you can pretty much do any of those things and you'll be okay. So that's her advice, good advice. Option D is to jam it, especially when they're deleting already. It's always good advice to jam it and jam it quick. And E, call tech support, you know, the guy with the trench coat and the skateboard. All right, so let's review.
Use NetForce authority to override now.
I'm a cop, and you will respect my authority.
NetForce authority to override now.
No response. We're gonna have to do a full reboot. Full reboot.
Put up some sort of electronic barrier.
She's plugged in. Totally wired. Totally wired.
Electronic barrier.
Totally wired.
Jay, they're deleting already.
Quick, jam it. Jam it.
Never fear. I is here.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about angry hackers for a moment, shall we? These are hackers with attitude, so I decided to devote an entire section to these folks. First of all, hackers throw viruses around like acid-laced candy stickers. They're hackers, but don't worry, all you have to do is launch the Da Vinci virus. I mean, I know for most of you that's your first instinct. You get ticked off is to launch not only any virus, but the Da Vinci virus. So that's a good first option. You have other viruses at your disposal as well, specifically retroviruses, like his retrovirus. And judging from the look on his face, I'm not sure I want any of his retrovirus. All right, now I put together this code. Can anybody tell me what this code, first of all, looks for? What's it waiting for? It's a keystroke. Yeah, which one? Oh, I heard it. The escape key. All right. So we wait for the escape key, and then what? And the mainframe dies. This is actual Perl code. Now, Hollywood actually wrote this code and then developed the script for this particular movie where you hit the escape key and the mainframe dies. That's the net. I'm sure their technical consultants actually wrote the code first and then shot the film. But yeah, that's exactly what happens. Spam is a problem. Hackers get angry by spam, and viruses are always the first solution. So how about this one? Use the Flotsam virus to redirect, Flotsam virus, to redirect all spam to the net police. This guy knows all about Flotsam. So let's do a vote. Leet? Or lame? I'm convincing you guys. Hollywood's got it all right. Okay, here's a screenshot of Gmail. Right here we have a couple new features in Gmail. The first one is to use the Flotsam virus. And this button actually forwards the spam to the net police. Google rules. All right. How about another spam solution? We are attacking that Iridium satellite. Now, first of all, my first question would be, don't people miss the internet when you throw it up into space? It's all spam. I am attacking the satellite with laser spam. I feel sorry for that satellite. I don't know about you guys. Leet or lame? Oh, man, come on. Gmail, people. It's right here. Can anybody read that? Beam into space. Laser. But actually, Google is actually much smarter than that. I like their solution is to actually make creamy spam broccoli casserole out of your spam. And I didn't have to use Photoshop for that. That was Google's suggestion. Anybody ever had creamy spam broccoli casserole? Ugh. No, thank you. All right. This particular hacker is getting really ticked off because they found an override tap and their computers may be back up. Now, of course, his problem is the boss is right behind him. And thank goodness, because the boss has a really good idea about what to do, specifically running an override algorithm. It's good advice. You can see why he's the boss. But of course, the hacker comes back when that doesn't work and runs a super override program, which works much better, I would assume. So let's review.
But they're hackers. But don't worry. All we have to do is launch the Da Vinci virus. The Da Vinci virus.
That's impossible.
The Da Vinci virus.
Use the Flotsam virus. Use the Flotsam virus to redirect all spam to the net police.
That's impossible. My retrovirus would have wiped them out. My retrovirus would have wiped them out.
I gave it a cold. I gave it a virus. I gave it a cold. I gave it a virus. Computer virus. Virus.
So what we need from you, Stanley, is a worm. The worm.
Worm and a virus?
The worm. The retrovirus.
Virus.
The Da Vinci virus.
Plot thickens.
My retrovirus would have wiped them out. Unless, you know, they had our manual memorized and factored, which would only take a couple of years.
Oh, boy. Yeah, my retrovirus would have wiped them out unless they had factored and memorized our manual, which would have taken a couple of years. That's security at its best, folks. All right, as we wrap up, a couple hacker challenges. I want to put your skills to the test. What I hope I've proven here is that you guys have a lot of work to do. That Hollywood is light years ahead of you all, and I really hope you're able to do your homework. But let's put you to the test one last time. All right. So you're a distracted hacker. Now, for those of you that haven't seen the movie, the reason you can tell from the look on his face that he's distracted. All right. So you're a distracted hacker, and you have 60 seconds to break into this system. All right, now let's take a look at this system. It's 128-bit DES encrypted. It's obviously a DoD system looking for a user ID and a password. So those of you that have seen the movie, is the solution LEET or lame? Oh, come on, guys. I'm not teaching you. Bruce said I'm supposed to teach you things. You're not learning anything here. First of all, you have to crack DES. I've got to hand this to you people. You have to crack DES, and you'll probably use a C program to do it. So any ideas about how you might find said program? Oh, there it is. Go to Google. Cracking-des file type C. All right, that's only the beginning of the challenge. So your first hit in Google redirects you to this particular program, which, yes, absolutely is a program for cracking des and is a C file. And you type the entire contents of that file from memory. I'm thinking into your compiler, which is somewhere around the user prompt. And notice the text lines up exactly. Long, read config, char star, config file spec, buffer 200. He typed this. How can you tell me that's lame? How many of you can type your exploits in by hand? Not talking about Metasploit here. Well, don't look at the IP addresses. That's, yeah, but okay, next slide. Speaking of doing this from memory, when he runs out of all the Windows holes he knows, he starts with his complete list of Unix vulnerabilities, and he tries them all, cookbook style, manually. Look at him, backspacing there. The reaction was just priceless. That's exactly what I would have said. Wow. All right, you guys seem to like swordfish, so let's do swordfish again. You need a worm, Hydra actually, a multi-headed worm to sniff out digital footprints across an encrypted network. I actually gave very serious thought about submitting a talk titled that. Designing a multi-headed worm to sniff out digital footprints across an encrypted network and see how many people showed up because they thought it was like a real thing. It would have been a short talk though. Here's how you actually do that. First thing you do is launch your worm generator. Make sure you're using version 1.2. It's got all the plugins for Hunt. You launch your worm generator. All right. You assemble the replicator objects. You do something with the password file. I'm a little vague here, but you can fill it in. You drink. You assemble your port scan objects. You assemble your crypto algorithm, and you throw extra H's around. You can never have too many .h files, so sort of algorithm. Yeah, you drink some more. You assemble your transmitter objects. You compile your objects. Ooh, we're getting very close to reality here, folks. You drink some more. You learn how to type standing up with your butt sticking out because you've drank too much. You had way too much to drink. And you complete your worm. When all's said and done, your worm looks like this. Tell me that's not hot. You got your ICMP query, you got your syslink, you got your flag probe, you got your TCP/IP stack, and your port 80 all wrapped up into one worm. It's a good thing. Don't mean to overwhelm you with technology. Hacker challenge number 3. You have 30 minutes to learn the encryption. Leet or lame? Leet, absolutely. Google is your friend. 30 minutes to learn the encryption. Fire off a Google query for learn the encryption. First hit, how stuff works, how encryption works. There you go. Read it for 30 minutes and you move on to the next part of the challenge, which is stealing a code called Livewire. Ooh, we upped the stakes here. Livewire is actually a forensics tool out by Whetstone designed to catch evil hackers like you. You just Google for the serials for Livewire, and there's the Livewire codes. Yep. All right. How about this? The accounts are encrypted with a 1024-bit cipher. Even I can't break through the firewall. Now, if you look like this guy, and you've got perfect lighting and the perfect haircut and the perfect earring, you can just throw stuff around like this and not even think about it. We, on the other hand, actually have to work a little bit harder to pull this off. So I think this is the final vote here. So is the solution to this leet or lame? Leet. Thank you. I have taught you something. It's absolutely leet. Let's show you how this thing works. First, I SSH into my firewall. I use GPG to check the key length. All right, so I've got a 1024-bit cipher. It's coming together. I use GPG to actually encrypt my accounts, which exist in Etsy password. So I'm going to encrypt the Etsy password file with 1024-bit encryption, overwriting it with the Etsy password file. So now the Etsy password file is data, 1024-bit encryption. Let me see you log into this box now. we're not done yet. An IP tables rule to drop everything that comes in. Now, can anybody tell me what's well, we know what's wrong with the first part of this solution. You know, here's the steps, looks pretty good. I'm sort of missing the prompt that's supposed to come after my IP tables rule. I'm trying to debug what happened. Anybody have any idea of what? All right, but the bottom line is the accounts are encrypted with the 1024-bit cipher, and even I can't break through their firewall. All right, and I had trouble categorizing this, so I'll just call this the purely moronic category. So here you go.
In a purely moronic string together of words, in a purely moronic string together of words, in a purely moronic string together of words that many of the studios term as prose.
Drexel is the first of its kind to convert data directly into holographic plates. Holographic plates.
Drexel is converting all digitally stored data into DAG 12 energy pulses. DAG 12 energy pulses.
How the hell can it store that much? Store that much?
Lots of key info running through the brain chain link. In fact, the last UWB may have leaked some highly confidential info.
We own them.
I didn't think it was possible with all the safeguards.
All they have to do is shut off the usual data stream, and replace it with one of their own.
That's not entirely accurate.
Replace it with one of their own.
Or passwords, system grids, all your tricks.
It's universally stupid, man.
System grids.
Universally stupid, man.
You the two idiots who hacked my system? I used to hack. Then I got a life. See, I learned to respect programmers instead of being an antisocial loser.
Well, he just broke through all your security systems, so I guess that makes him a smarter loser than you are.
Yes, he just broke through all your security systems. I guess that makes him a smarter loser than you are. All right, let me go through my thanks here. It's what I got for you. Thanks to God for the gift of life, my family for the gift of love, my kids for the gift of laughter, my friends for filling in the blanks. Thanks to DC3 for that invitation on that tour, and to these wonderful Hollywood films, which I hope you've learned a lot from. So actually, I have one more thing. I feel like a complete failure as a presenter at this point, because I really had all these things that I sort of wanted to work on, you know, some presentation skills that I learned from Bruce Potter. And I only got through one of them, and then I forgot all the rest of them. I actually had a disclaimer at the beginning of my talk, and all the other stuff I was supposed to do, I just completely forgot about. But I made this little video to sort of help me. It's sort of a self-help video for presenters. So this is, thank you, Bruce, for the inspiration, dude. You rock with presentations. Give it up for Bruce, all right? Okay, so for those of you that would like to speak just like Bruce and have that presentation foo, I humbly offer my advice.
I anticipate saying things today that are going to piss off some people. Don't believe anything that anyone on these stages tells you. Half of it's a joke and half of it's serious. Don't believe anything I say. I can find other things that will excite you. Guy with mic takes control. So let's talk about security, shall we? Here's a computer, here's this thing, lock it down. And that will keep script kiddies away. Blah, 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 dot, 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 blah, 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 dot, 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 blah, 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 dot, dot, dot. Hot. A band. A band. Wee. Hot. Wee. Hot. Oh my God, you can't do that anymore. Hot. A band. There's all these vulnerabilities. Band. A band. Wee. Oh, Colonel. Whee! Hot. Whee! Hot. Oh my God, you can't do that anymore. Yeah, I could use a beer. I'm gonna go to the bar, guys. I'll be back in a bit. Bow to my firewall. Ah! Ah! Ah!
All right, so Bruce is on his way up, so why don't we give him a round of applause?
Yeah, hey, I'm teary-eyed. I was laughing so hard. Thanks, brother. Holy shit. That's all on tape, too, so I might as well get all my expletives out of the way now. All right, so I'm going to transfer here. This is going to take me a split second. We're going to wind this thing down. And, Johnny, can I steal your power? Yeah. I'm going to cancel the diagnostics, as it turns out. Actually, that one won't fit. No, you got the newer one. Yeah. That was about the funniest goddamn thing. All right. I'm going to reboot. This is OS 10 in action right here. It actually seemed to have worked out pretty well this year. So, oh, hey, look at that. I'm in business. Business. Hold on. So my password right now is Eric Rules, because he had to go do something in my box the other day, and he can own anything in about 3.5 seconds. And so I just gave him something that he'd feel good about when he actually owned it. He'd find his password. My password was some homage to him. Eric Johansson, are you here? Oh, he's up in the knock. Dude, don't ever let this guy touch your cell phone. Like, full stop. He's like, hey, new phone, can I say? Oh, sure. I hand it to him. 5 seconds later, my phone's owned. I'm like, how did you do that? He's like, I don't know, it's just some stuff. So the typo's on purpose. I have to explain something because there's a little thing people have been saying recently. Players put in money in, which was a typo on one of my Hacker Arcade flyers. And I didn't realize it was a typo, and I was at TourCon handing these things out, and everyone kept saying, in money in, hey man, players put in money in. And I'm like, ha, ha, that's funny, what the hell are you talking about? And this goes on for a couple of days, and at some point I'm like, I wrote that? Holy shit. And so now, like, I have to have, like, multiple, conjugated something or others. All right, so first we're going to start out with random chance, and we're going to run random chance concurrently with the rest of this thing just so we can actually give away lots of odds and ends. Is that kosher? All right, cool. And the badge thing. So the first thing we want to do is Paulus is going to come up and talk about the badges, which besides being lethal weapons are actually something else as well.
They're non-lethal, sublethal weapons. So there's, it's not a big deal, but there's a little puzzle associated with the badges, which is why some of them have a curvy edge on one side. Those are the staff or speakers. 2 curvy edges is all you usual suspects. And then the shmoo badges only have 1 flat edge. If you didn't figure that out, then we all look the same. So we have a winner for the puzzle contest back there. Come on up. And we're going to keep on going with the other stuff, but they're going to try and get the people together that complete the puzzle so you can see what that looks like, just because we can. And these folks went around and found, interviewed like 200 people trying to find badges that fit. So it's kind of a little social mixer puzzle or something. So why don't we get you guys down on this end of the stage? And anybody who's, if you know that you're part of, if they traced your badge and you know you're part of this, why don't you come up and we'll put them together momentarily and take a picture, because then, whatever. And then we'll give them some shit, Hey, where's the prizes for these guys? And there's prizes too, so. And if we don't get them all, we'll...
All right, so that was... Pablos is disheveled, man. Normally he's much more on fire. But ultimately, come on, it's a HackerCon, right? There's got to be like some subversive thing going on. Our subversive thing was these badges that you can all hook together to form something. I still don't know what it forms. It was beyond my classification level to know. But we, the gifts to the people that figured it out are little moose carabiners. Click, click. And I think they also double as bottle openers. So... No, they don't double. Well, you probably could. I mean, I watched the guy for last night open like a bottle with another bottle. I'm like, that's, wow, like outstanding. But if you screw that up, the other one's just going and dumping straight out. So anyway, so we got those, and you can come up here in a bit and check out the badge stuff. You want to start running the raffle? All right, grab your raffle tickets, because I'm randomly going to spew forth numbers out of this jar, and you're going to randomly win stuff. And if we could all applaud Random Chance, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's hear it for Random Chance. Entropy, baby. Entropy. All right, this is a Jabra Bluetooth 250V earbud. It vibrates, okay? It's a vibrating Bluetooth earbud. I don't know the ramifications of that in your health. And it can, what, do you want it? Wow. I'm hurt. And you saw my wife last night, right? All right, I'm only going to read out the last three numbers. 379. All right, no, he doesn't win. All right, once, twice. Random Chance says 912. Hey, there we go. Dude with a hat. All right, so continuing on. Hacker Halo. Hacker Halo is a success again this year, and we'd like to give out the Hacker Halo Awards. If you guys are all ready to do your thing. Nodding. You can come this way then if you like. Yeah. Good. Oh, no, can we actually, oh. Well, these guys are just going to explain it all, because these guys are the bomb. Hacker Halo, you know, second year going. We wanted to do something at ShmooCon that was a little bit different than kind of capture the flag stuff that had been done in other places. If for one reason, if you go play capture the flag for, you know, 16 hours at HackerCon, you don't do anything else. And that's cool and all, and man, you're dedicated to the cause, but man, you're dedicated to the cause, and you should just be like dedicated. So here we go. Actually, committed was the word I was looking for. I'm really hungover still. Anyway, so you guys ready? All right, so they put on a good show. They're going to give out prizes and all kinds of hoo-ha.
We also, because we, like all of you, have a T-shirt delivery system that we will be launching off. Croxton, would you? Never let it be said we don't give back to the community. Yeah? Yes. Thank you. There will be more coming. So yeah, as you hopefully know, Hacker Halo is actually two separate competitions. We had some hacking and some Halo. Dominating, again, on the hack side. Chris Eagle, next year you can't play. But this year you get prizes. We got a pair of Oakley sunglasses. Schmokleys, if you will. There you go, Chris. You can come work for us next year if you want.
This year we also had, on the Halo side, intense competition. How many people got a chance to see it last night? It was pretty awesome, and we also want to thank Deviant Ollam for purchasing beer for the entire Hacker Halo staff. Always makes the competition go better. But this year's winner was Geese. Geese, you out there? There he is. Geese dominating. It was almost a three-way tie, but then he managed to pull it out at the end, which is pretty awesome. And for you, we have a Hawking Tech wireless camera.
Also, we'd like to thank everybody who bothered to come to our thing in spite of free drinks and free club. Very sweet of you to stay around. I'd offer to buy you a drink, but I'm not a nice guy.
Thank you. Actually, that brings up an interesting point on the Hacker Halo and Fur timing. How many people went to Fur and wanted to go to Hacker Halo a little bit just to see what it was about and play? How many people went to Hacker Halo and wanted to go to Fur? Okay. I mean, not wanted like it was shitty. Like, you know, I went to Hacker Halo, it sucked. I should have gone to Fur. No, that's not what I'm asking. You want to call some names? Yeah. Like.
Okay, give me some names. Hand me that first page. Just give me the page. So we're missing some badges, so we need Zen, JMP, George or Eric Michaud, and Scott to come up here so that we can finish this thing.
Oh, sorry. All right. Jesus. So was anyone at the talk at DEF CON where you know, Priest always comes up and they like give away random free swag and they throw it out in the audience? Was anyone there when Jennifer 8 was there, the reporter from New York Times? Jennifer 8, this is like DEF CON 9 or DEF CON 10. She's about 5 foot tall, You know, she was shorter than some of the people who were sitting down in the front row. And Priest is like this, you know, 6'6" dude. I mean, he's a serious guy. And they had this giveaway, and one of the things was a U.S. Robotics 5-blade rack-mountable switch. And it was about this tall, must have weighed 40 pounds. And so like he's for all this stuff and saying, hey, you know, throw this, throw that. You know, he's asking these questions, doing the Priest thing. And at some point he's like, here, give away the switch. And like, who wants the switch? Everyone's like, I do. And she's like, should I throw it? And Priest is like, sure. And she just hucks this thing into the crowd. And, oh my God, we scattered. I was in row 2. And it went over my head and landed in row 5 where the guys were actually splitting away, and it hit a chair and like bent the chair backwards. The chair flipped up and like hit some guy like this. Then everyone dove on the switch. Yeah. So I'm gonna throw this table out later. So we got 450. It's a it's donated by WarDriverWorld.com. It's a wireless card. So we had 450. Hey, random chance. Woo! Yeah, see, it's not that exciting. What? Oh, can we have a t-shirt? Thank you. Shoot at the front row. Yeah, there we go. All right, so actually, can I get a big round of applause for the Hacker Halo guys that put on a hell of a show? All right, wow. Actually, I can't do the Hacker Arcade Award yet because Freshman and I have to figure it out. So, haven't quite done that. I'm going to come back to the award aspect of the Hacker Arcade in a minute, but I do want to mention a few things about the Hacker Arcade. One, we raised, at last count, like $350 for the Red Cross in the Hacker Arcade. Now we're just handing out, people just like, I don't want to play a game, I just want to give money to the Red Cross, and there's, yeah, and so there's a pile more money. And yeah, if you want to, you come up, drop in some more. It worked out really well. How many people got a chance to play a game in the Hacker Arcade? How many people won something in the Hacker Arcade? Woo, yeah. So there was some interesting. Hey, nice work. Nice work. So there were some interesting byproducts of the Hacker Arcade. One, somebody came in today and said, hey, I'm going to redeem my tickets, but I've only played one game, and I'll tell you right now that I've kind of owned the system. And we're like, okay. And so he walks up and he plugs in his dongle, and he'd won 325 tickets. We're like, oh, hey, that's not good because you only win 10 per play, and he'd played one game. And Prevere had a little bug in his code where if you just copied the same ticket over and over and over and changed the case of it, it would actually interpret them all as different tickets. Thankfully, you couldn't actually spend it, so there was at least some stopgap there. So somebody tried to own that, which was nice. And then David Rhodes, is David Rhodes here? Where? I'm sorry. Somewhere. David Rhodes is a pretty damn decent web app dude, and the skill crane was controllable over the network. Okay, it was a web app, and David Rhodes realized this, and he just wrote a script to go to every possible coordinate in the skill crane and grab stuff. So he started at 0.0, and at 0.5, and it just went around, and then he comes into the Own the Con BOF with a just armful of goodies, like, yep, I want a lot in the skill crane, and just starts throwing shit out. So next year we might have to have some rate limiting. But no, seriously, thanks to everybody who came and played and donated money. Thanks to the guys who put the gear together. We're going to go to the awards here in a minute. But it was a big success. So more random chance, 668.
And we need me, Fuzzy, and Crucible to come up for this thing. And we're getting close to finishing the puzzle.
All right, 410. It's a SATA drive enclosure that's actually like you can yank out of your bay. If you want like massive data corruption, you just boom. It's the time to do it, man. It's here come the feds. Boom! Hey. So no 410. All right, we're gonna keep on trucking. 387. 387. Come on, you just don't want the SATA drive enclosure. I know it. 412. Throw it out. This is pointy. I'm risk averse, as it turns out. 312. Jesus. That thing's making me jumpy. All right. 435, or wait, 453. Players put in money in. 453. All right. Random chance is not working out. We'll come back to random chance. Beetle, where's Beetle? So, A, you get to say a few words. I don't know if you knew that. Well, you can if you want, hence the random Beetle thanks. Okay. Well, see, the other part of you saying a few words is Freshman and I have to have a little powwow over the Hacker Arcade. So Rodney's going to see, that was the next slide. So, Rodney, let me thank Beetle first, and then I'll come back to you. So, all right. So, first of all, Beetle, let's have a big round of applause for Beetle. Beetle's kind of been our front focal guy for ShmooCon now for 2 years, and it's worked out really well. And wow. Conversely, Pablos is not risk averse. I want to see this guy's insurance agent. All right. So anyway, Beetle's put on a great job. I really appreciate all the work you put into this. It's a lot of, it's our own time. We kind of live and breathe this thing for 2 or 3 months. So, thank you very much, sir. It's very appreciated. And, ultimately, at the end of this is all for, wow, that's all for you guys, but the con's all for you guys too. So, I mean, Beetle's really, kind of made it a bit of a dedication to, oh my, is that, don't give him any more. No, because if it's far, it's heavy, and I don't want you throwing it. Yeah, all right. So I was going to go all sappy and shit, but never mind. All right, so Ronnie, come up and do your thing. Oh, jeez, I'm just making Rodney dance. Do a little jig. So Beetle, you gotta come here. Come here. So last year they thanked us with moose earrings and stuff, and so this year we're going moose turd earrings. I'm sorry, moose turd earrings. If you've ever been to Alaska, like there's this weird subculture of like selling things that fall out of animals' asses for money. So moose droppings being the biggest of them, and wow, that could go a lot of places. Anyway, we got you some Canadian moose droppings, and it's also in French if you'd like to read that. But as a symbol of our appreciation to you. Well, they really value my input. They gave me a bunch of moose shit. There you go.
We'll cover for you now. So random. Oh, so you just put me in the presentation like that's I say I need 2 minutes and he puts a slide up. That's nice. Okay. So first thing is. What? Well, oh, you mean I have to touch the thing with the fruit in the front? And of course it doesn't do anything. How about a space bar? Hey, there we go. Doesn't work on mouse tap. Should do that. Of course, God knows what Eric has hacked this to do. Anyway, so let's see. So first thing, let me start talking to you for real, Mr. Anderson. You can't hear in both ears. You get on these lists and I say, we should have cool earpieces that are transparent. And he rents 35,000 of them. Anyway, so I'm standing in a .gov who had invited me to come visit and spent money on me. And I do consulting, so this is significant because I can pay the rent and shit like that. And we're standing down the hall from a skiff, and somebody taught me how to spell skiff. I can't actually remember, but it scares the fuck out of people when I say the word. I deal with the mundanes most of the time, anyway. And usually, I'm not very quiet, in case you hadn't known this, and you haven't heard of me. You obviously have either earmuffs on, or you're catatonic, or you live in a cave. So people say, oh, we heard of you at fill in the blank, Network World, or IETF, or I saw you, say fuck at the last ShmooCon, or something. Anyway, so there's various and sundry reasons people have actually heard of me. These people looked at me and said, you're a shmoo. And I'm like, they just spent a bunch of money on me. They flew me up to this scary place to do some things with them, some security stuff, some good security stuff. Anyway, and they did this because I was a shmoo. So anyway, so first thing I'm going to do is thank Pablos and GDAD because I'm a shmoo. And this is very cool that this has got significance to people. And we try to be respectful about that stuff. So anyway, that's the first thing. Second thing, most of you, I think, were not actually spawned out of shells on an alien planet. And only a few of you we think are clones. So most probably you have parents, or had parents, or have children, or know how to spell children, or something. Anyway, so Bruce's mother is taking care of their kids so that they can be here doing this. So I want to thank Bruce's mother. Next person. And there are parental units back in Alaska, down the street from the Shmoo Alaska Weapons Lab, taking care of Heidi and Heather and Mike's. Yeah, and I've got alcohol in me too. It's a great excuse. I want to use that every time. Heather and Mike's kids. So I want to thank them too. And can I have a little help from security? Where's Andrew? Can you come up here? So I'm a consultant. I spend a lot of time intimidating people with buzzwords and things like that. Sometimes I'm obnoxious and I decode the buzzwords. So inside the Shmoo private encrypted classified mailing list that we'd kill you if you ever saw, so there's this buzzword which I invented which is called the CRS. So this is Andrew. His handle is Shmoo. So this is the canonical reference Shmoo, and I just wanted to introduce him. Do the Queen thing. He doesn't even have to talk. He's actually more snarky than I am, but he's saving it up because he does even better alcohol research than I do. So anyway, you don't want to make a speech, I assume. You're very fuzzy. Okay. He's only barely here. The pattern buffer is just barely materialized. So you can leave now. I'll let you go away if you want. There you go. Thank you very much, Andrew. I dragged him up here. He let me do that. Thank you. Who else to thank? Got to do a bunch of vendor giveaways during the intros. That was fun. So I spent a lot of time telling people that vendors are completely losers. They, not worth the powder, takes the blow to hell. Lots of things they say. Anyway, the vendors who had enough clue to do sponsorships, give giveaways, that kind of stuff, I want to thank them. I got to do, this morning I did a giveaway where I started throwing things. It's like, I'm a hacker, I'm not an athlete, I don't throw things in front of 300 people who are going to call me that I throw like a girl or not like a girl or whatever the wrong thing is. So I checked into it, and when you have a grenade coming in, I guess you say grenade, you don't say incoming like they say in the movie. So I learned that this morning. About 2 seconds ago, I learned what it sounds like to stand in front of a T-shirt cannon, because he did that over my shoulder about 3 inches behind my ear, and as it's going away. It's like, I guess that's what happens if you stand in the wrong part of a ship when they launch a cruise missile or something like that. Yeah, you got a clip. You're going to give me a clip of that. Well, you're going to have to get better than that. Like that, yes. There we go. Pablos is warming up. All right. Let's see. Thanks to Heidi. We can't thank Heidi enough times. She slaps us around. We got to be slapped around. She holds us together when we are too chaotic. And she puts up with us a lot. And we're a pain in the ass. So I really appreciate Heidi. And they actually have an outbuilding in their property, and so I'm sure when Bruce says these stupid things he says on stage, I'm sure she's got some cage she keeps him in the back there for the next 2 or 3 months after ShmooCon. So I'm sure he'll be punished if he says anything inappropriate to her. I'm done with my thank yous. Oh no, well, depends. Is this actually organized? Was I supposed to know the content of this? I'm going to pretend that I don't. Fine. Well, I have one more that I want to do, which is I want everybody who has a radio on and not on duty to come up here. Is that one in the list? That's in the list. Fine. Go away. Stand down. You're safe from there. It's under control. Bruce has things under control. Be very worried. Anyway, here you go.
Oh, hey. All right, so thank you. Yeah, so this was obviously all well orchestrated and put together. So, Heidi, do you want to say anything? No? She threatened that she did want to say something. Now she's running away from me. And she's also throwing things into the crowd. So, again, just this is not obviously a huge ego thing, but she does a lot for the conference and really helps keep us together when things get all screwed up and sideways. She can be the voice of reason or the voice of antagonistic things when we need someone to be antagonistic, which is nice. So, anyway, plus she's my wife and I love her, so. Aww. Can we have a round of applause for my wife? Aww. See? Not sure if that was a good look or a bad one. We'll figure it out later. All right, so Hacker Arcade Awards. The committee had met, so we now know who won. Are the guys? I don't know your name, but you had the spinny coin slot thingamabob. Are you guys here still? Oh man, that sucks. So I don't know if. No, I think they were actually. I saw them packing their stuff, and I don't know if they caught a bus. Yeah, so they bussed down from New York. And they had a laptop that they had encased inside of a 2x4s and screws and stuff that they put together. And then they had this thing that looked like a bomb that was this metal canister that inside of it had a coin sorter thing, like, you know, like in a piggy bank or something. And at the bottom of the quarter one, there was a button off a keyboard. And so the quarter would fall down and hit the button, and then it would trigger the game. So as soon as you got the key press for whatever key that was, it was like, ding! Oh, hey, there's money in there. So it was just ingenious. The game was Slash 'em, which is like a N curses Zork thing, where you have kittens and newts, and my kitten kept getting lost, and then I stepped on it and killed it. It was really bad. So anyway, yeah, it's all, the glue's not dry. So we made a trophy for them, which I'll have to now like FedEx to them. But it's, you know, players put in money in, and it's got the little Space Invaders. It actually works, and there's a slot in the back where you can actually put in the batteries. So if you want to play Space Invaders on your wall, you know, they can. And we also got them a gift certificate to EB Games. So I'd also like to thank everybody else who brought a system into for this thing. There's the Zero Wing guys who they hacked up code most of the day Friday to get the front end to work. And then Ethan brought in a massive amount of stuff. Ethan, are you here? Oh, there's Ethan. So Ethan writes me out of the blue, doesn't know we even have a hacker arcade, says, hey, I got a skill crane, can I bring it to the con? I'm like, oh, for the arcade you mean? He's like, what arcade? Like, sure, when I'm coming to a con, the first thing I think, skill crane. So he saw that, and he hacked together the skill crane. Half of it, like I said, was remotely controllable. He also brought some really kick-ass videos that were playing in there from like 80s hacker stuff, and oh man, just some awesome stuff. Some IntelliBeam lights that we really didn't get hooked up. I think next year we're going to sync up earlier, and we'll kick a lot of ass with it. But a big thanks to Ethan for bringing in all that stuff. Oh, and Mortal Kombat 4. So thank you, Ethan. Appreciate it. All the code for that's open source, available on the internet. So if you want to participate next year, there's a starting point. Unlike this year, when I just had to explain it, and it just had to, you know, the faith of God that something might actually happen. Something else I was going to say here. No, they're coming. It's okay, I got it. Philosophical, yeah. Lord only knows. Actually, I have even notes to myself here. Wow, this is just getting to, holy shit. It's just getting aggressive. Seriously, so I'm still pretty worried, all things being equal, that as an industry we're kind of fucked up right now. And I really think it's important. I mean, it's a Sunday afternoon, and you people are here. Okay, there are a lot of options places you could be. You could be at a bar watching a football game. You'd be doing all kinds of different stuff. But you're here trying to make a difference, trying to help move the ball forward, right? There are a lot of people out there who, you know, trying to make a lot of money, trying to do lots of other things. We all have motivations and shit like that. But we really need to pay attention to what we're doing, because there's a lot of power in this room, right? And there's a lot of power in this community. I don't know if we realize it or not, but we're kind of a loaded weapon. And the things that we come up with, and the things that we break, and the things that we fix are going to be what support the international IT community, you know, scary as that sounds. You know, we are pretty influential, and we need to be responsible with what we're doing. We need to recognize what our motivations are. We need to recognize, you know, if we're security vendors, security is not always a be-all, end-all. Security is not necessarily as bad as we think it is, and we need to get a grip, and we need to deal with it. So, not to be all shitty and a downer, but frankly, it got me worried. So, something to think about. Look at me be a killjoy. That rocked. All right. And anyway, I really appreciate all you guys coming. It floors me, actually, that we actually get people to show up. When the Schmoo Group was started, you know, whatever, 6-7 years ago now, you know, we just kind of wanted to get together and do some fun stuff. And now we get to get together with 800 friends and do some fun stuff. And next year maybe we'll be 1,200 friends and do more fun stuff. So, or not. Okay, so generally, whoa. Thank you for breaking that awkward silence that I had with a frightening scream. That's excellent. So I think we already did the round of applause, so I'm not going to get into that. Speaker feedback forms, if you have them, we have a place. Give them to anybody with a red shirt. We'll take them. Overall, I mean, for the people that were here last year, about the same experience, better, worse? Really? Excellent. Hallelujah. Thank you. I really appreciate that. We were kind of worried about that, but T-shirts will be for sale upstairs at registration. There seemed to be some confusion, so yeah. Okay. So what? Yeah. Hey, can you come up here for a second? Yeah. Yeah, so this guy has been running around in his socks, videotaping us for 3 days. So, and he drove out here from California to do this. Drove, like John Madden style, man.
Yeah, 51 hours, and then I have to drive back because I have a show next weekend, so I got a show in LA.
So, yeah, I mean, dedicated to the cause. So if you can, support him. He's the fantastic agreement we have with regard to the content and everything, trying to get it out to the community. We really appreciate it. So please support him. Buy some DVDs. Take them home. Show them to your coworkers, whatever, you know. They make good porn at night, you know, when you're going to bed. So anyway, yeah, exactly. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming very much. All right. Oh, yeah.
Also, I'm working on an encoding project. If anybody has any encoding experience, I'd like to encode about 1,000 titles. And so if anybody has any information, please come see me. Thanks.
All right. Groovy. Oh, yeah, aim down. There you go. I thought you were firing Jennifer Granick. All right, 333. 333. I made y'all look again. You're like, I put that damn thing away. But I'm still trying to give away the SATA thing. This is ridiculous. 747. Just 459. No, because this is getting better. Like 452. 444 or 440. All right, 461. Just throw it. Oh! All right, so this one is cool, actually. This is a detect and connect instantly. It's a Wi-Fi finder and USB adapter. So this thing is it'll find hotspots and display it in this little LED thing in the front. B, it'll actually be a USB dongle for 802.11a and B and G, actually. And it'll also be an access point. So this is an access point the size of a USB stick, which is kind of hot. So this is a Zycel or something. So I think in the nature of expediency, are you all ready? Because if I get sued over this thing, it's holy shit. Yeah, dude. I was actually hoping he was going to elbow you on the way down. And anyway, so we got some other odds and ends. Yeah. Oh. All right, this one I'm going to raffle off. This is a world phone. Well, it's an unlocked Sony Ericsson Z600. It is slightly used, but you can pop any SIM into this thing you want and try it out. So I'm going to let random chance go on this one. I'm going to say 445. Faster, yeah, okay. 553. 535. Hey, rock on. All right, so, wow, the universe started working again. Yeah, here, catch. I'm going to put that there. All right, so sponsors, again, Sai, PGP, these guys, you know, I'm not going to go through this whole list again, but these guys, again, made it possible. If you didn't attend the Own the Con talk, I recommend just go and download the PowerPoint when you get a chance. It goes through kind of all our financials and everything that we try to do to keep this transparent. The sponsor money is included on there, so you know how much the sponsors gave us. These guys really kind of helped make the party happen Saturday night. So if we can get a big round of applause for all our sponsors. All right, War Driving World T-shirts. It's a weaponized T-shirt. Oh, he told on it, yes. Oh, he missed it. Oh, my God, brother. If you're going to put that much energy into it, we got a 512 meg stick, USB stick. All right, we got a Bluetooth Minnie Mouse. I'm still trying to get to you guys. I've tried 3 over to that side. It just hasn't worked out. Oh! Oh! Simple. All right, so these I got to raffle off because if I try to throw an iTunes music card, it's going to go about 2 feet. 415. 414. It doesn't seem random right now, does it? I was going serially there for a second. 390. 180, 369, 324, 377, yeah. Anyone have a prime number? Anyone know? 317 is a prime number? Is it really? Yeah, dude, come on up. Anyone have a prime number bigger than 317? Is there one under 1,000 that's bigger than 317? There is? Okay, anybody's got a prime number. Come on, no prime number. What was the item I saw a hand? Do you have that? Oh. You have 709? Sweet! All right, there you go. So, these were 12-mile FRS and some other band radios. So, yeah. Oh, and Jason Scott donated some BBS documentary DVDs that he was showing. It's really actually quite interesting stuff. So, yeah, dude, like, well, that's why we're trying to run this in parallel. So, just, all right. No, here, why don't you give those out rather than being, okay. Wow, he actually walked off the stage. There you go. All right. So I'm going to go through some more things real quick. I don't want to keep you guys here too much longer because there's football on. So again, thanking everybody. The people that we haven't gotten to yet. Speaker registration. Heidi had a lot of folks helping her out with speaker registration or registration period. Heather and Tamsin and who? Carrie and John. Where's John? John Mattia? So John Mattia, he's a hotshot DBA from Anchorage that's in the Shmoo group, and he wrote. Oh, there he is. So raise your hand, John. So John's got crazy barcode, laser scanner, all kinds of skills, and he wrote the registration system that we use for ShmooCon, and it worked fantastically. So big thanks to John. Because of that man and the hard work here, you didn't have to stand in line. Like there was never a line bigger than 2 or 3 seconds there, which was kind of hot. So what is this? Oh, is this a teledapt? Oh. Anyone ever been convicted of a phone crime? Have you really? Wow, dude, that's impressive. So you know what a teledapt is? It's yeah, I was gonna say it's probably the wrong guy. I guess. Anyone want to be convicted of a phone crime? All right. With the bottom of my firewall shirt with my visage on the front of it. Here, this is yours. So this is actually a what? Oh, dude, man, like you go to jail and come back out, you'll be fine. So that actually was a teledapt thing, which is like an acoustic coupler and a pin thing and all kinds of other stuff. It's or a digital generator. Anyway, long story, not worth it. This is a Homeland video camera or wireless camera. Homeland security camera. Because you can't trademark apparently Homeland Security and things like that. So this is actually a Homeland Security camera. It does black and white video, high-tech black and white audio and video. So it's got black and white audio and black and white video. So it's either on or off. So, yeah, exactly. Wow. Everyone's paying attention. That was actually a trinary system because there was a middle tone. So, yeah. I don't even know how to give this thing out. Pablo, someone put you in charge of getting rid of this one. No, don't throw that one. It won't live. Oh, we got a Cantenna. I'm going to go back to random chance for 5 draws, and we're going to go to something else. 168. 170. That was definitely kind of not serial. 365. 252. 405. Hey, Renderman got an antenna. Wow. You can thank WarDriveAndRule.com for that, and that's, man, that's some funny shit. Totally. All right, so we're going to give the rest of these. All right, so now we're in the big stuff, and we are going to say a random chance for the big stuff, and that's all that's left. Oh, this isn't big. This is a XM satellite radio. Anyone have, what's the other one? Sirius. Anyone want to switch to XM? Do you have Sirius, sir? Yeah. In the back with a hand up. You have Sirius, you want to switch to XM? What? Oh, well, that's a good point. How many people drive a Mustang? You, sir, come here. This is for you. Beetle races race car out at Summit Point, West Virginia, every once in a while, and I help crew for him. And when he first, he traded for a rainbow table disc. That seems more irrational. So when he first wrote me into working on this his race car with him, I went to the track, and it's like he had a Mustang GT, and this woman that was on the crew had a Mustang, and this other guy had a Mustang, and I showed up in my Subaru station wagon. I'm like, well, this is certainly idiotic, and because he was racing a Mustang too, so like it was about 2 weeks for me to like go get rid of the station wagon and go get myself a Mustang GT, which I had for 6 months, and then traded in and got a Mach 1. And it turns out Mustangs don't hold resale very well, so when you drive one off the lot for 6 months and come back, yeah, you just empty your pockets, you know, do the whole thing. It's yeah, make my wife happy. Yes, make my wife happy. I was very high on that list. Cantenna, I'm not sure what to do about that. I'll come back to that in a minute. So, rainbow tables. Yeah. So, these are going to be seated. What? They already are. They're seated right now. So, they are new and improved. They're not screwed up. There were a few tables in our last torrent that were botched. Don't be crazy anymore. And they're sorted now, I believe. Yep, so they're faster to sort through in the whole deal. So, are you coming up, Eric, or no? No, okay. So anyway, we have rainbow tables. We can't throw these because, man, like, A, they'd hurt, B, they'll scatter. No, what I'm really actually more worried about than your physical welfare is the fact that, yeah, it's like these discs will, you know, potentially not like the impact. Solid state's okay, right, Todd? So Todd used to work for me up at Internet Alaska, and I got to tell this story. I'm sorry. So it's going to be real short, I promise. But you want to give those away, Pavlos? All right, Pavlos is going to give away the rainbow tables. We bought these Portmasters. How many people know what a Portmaster is? Terminal server? Yeah, so there was these Portmaster 3s that had these integrated modems in them, and we bought like 20 of them to replace these huge modem banks that we had, you know? They're like $50,000 a piece, and like we're a small ISP, so you know, we spent like $1 million on this gear. And anyway, so Todd's in there, and he's like throwing this thing around. He's got one of these on his desk. He's like picking it up, dropping it, plugging cards, and you know, you think he was cutting a side of beef. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, oh, it's solid state. You can't hurt it. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He's like, what? There's no moving parts. And he picks the thing up off the table and drops it. And I'm like, holy shit. And he's like, what? He plugs it in, and it boots. I'm thinking, he didn't learn a damn thing. Like, he was convinced, like, hey, it's solid state, it's fine. Like, I'm waiting to take his computer and just huck it into his car, you know? He's flicking me off now. Anyway, all right, so the big stuff here. We got a 100G MIMO router, so this is like the long-range stuff. It's got big-ass antennas and, you know, more penis power. 212, 275. Come on. 152, faster. That's, dude, 210. I assume somebody pre-mixed them. 620. There we go. Okay, I was like, hey. 258. And they are shuffled. 217. 839. There's an 8. Ooh. 241. 825. 873. Yeah, in the back. Yeah, right. Radical -1. Anyone? Imaginary numbers? All right. All right. Now we got an iPod shuffle. Had to keep, ooh, hey, now you show some more respect to my random number generator here. 588. Yes, it does have DRM. 403, it also makes a good doorstop if you don't like the DRM part of it. 655. 755. Oh, hey, right on. All right, so, and the last thing we got is iPod Nano. This is a 4 gig. Ooh, aha. Throw it. All right.
They're really tough. I've tested throwing them. They're tough.
Here we go. So we got a 919. It's not an area code, is it? It's awful close to 911. 233, excuse me. 233, 2. It's a number that comes after 1. 691. Oh, God, the tension is building. 382. What? Battleship? You sunk my battleship? I'm sorry. 665. It was 665, so you're one less than Satan. Congratulations, sir. So the moral of the story is Steve Jobs is that close to the devil. So come on up. It's a false positive. Yeah, 665. Yeah. No, we all know the number system, right? Like they invented these things called numbers.
Still secure. This is the winner. Don't mail it to
Oh, hey. So Still Secure had a sling box. People seen these things before? It's like you can watch like TV randomly all over the damn place. Like on the road, you're in a hotel, you want to watch something you had TiVoed, you can like go watch stuff. It's pretty badass. It's a sling box, and so Still Secure was giving this out, and they had a raffle, and Brian Urine? U-A-R-I. Oh, that's a V? Oh, you draw it like the Romans did, I guess. Okay. That's good enough. I'm going to go own your mail server now. He took the what? He took the Cantena? All right, so the guy took the Cantena instead of the Nano. So you've been hardcore, yeah, dude. So there was a blog for this area in DC, and one of the people on the blog put a posting up the other day that said, I just found out there's going to be a hacker convention at the Wardman Park Marriott. And if you have any open wireless access points, you may wish to secure them now. Here's a quote from their website. And here's some ranting quote about Beetle, like, now's a great time to come inside the Beltway and go, like, jack up all the Fed wireless networks. Whee! You know? So yeah, you just probably want to watch your networks. And I'm like, wow, that's outstanding. I love how that stuff gets out in the public. So anyway, this guy with a Cantena apparently wants to go jack up with the Woodley Park area. So good luck with that, sir. Yeah, all right. Feel love. 440 for what? The iPod Nano? No. No. 442. 442. Are you serious? What? No. Hold on. Just give me that damn thing. Are you serious? What the f? It's a return.
Sexy enough.
No, that, jeez.
What is that?
There we go, sir.
It's solid state.
Okay, just to verify after the last. We're cool, man. We're cool. He was telling the truth. So, all right, we're done. We're done with the giveaways. All right, so Shmoocon, the con that gives back to you. So I got ninjas hooked at me. Pirates are way cooler than ninjas. I have a T-shirt that says that. Arrgh, arrgh, all the pirates in the room, arrgh, arrgh, yeah. Yeah, dude, like I had a bartender once that wouldn't serve me a beer because I was wearing that shirt. He was like, no, ninjas are better than pirates. They're like, can I have a beer? He's like, no. Alrighty then, thanks. Anyway, goons, the brute force squad, I'm sorry, we've been copyright infringing. Come on up, guys, come on up, brutes. Come on, they all look shy. They stand around red shirts. The Brute Squad. Well, I'm going to get off of this thing. So, freshman, you want to say some words or speak? Okay, all right. So, we're just going to try on. So, these guys take care of physical security, and it's. Oh, what? Oh.
So, welcome to DEF CON Anonymous. I used to go to DEF CON, and like if they wore a shirt that color, I stayed away from them because they tended to like scare me. And so I did that for a while, and I discovered that if you actually talk to them or let them throw you in a pool or a few other things, that it's all cool. So anyway, so we have a kinder and gentler set of red shirts, and they're still doing security, and it's very important. It's layer 1. It's all anyway. Thank them to them.
Thank you, folks. I appreciate it. It means a lot to us, and you get to keep the shirts. So you know, I know you've been wearing them for 3 days, and you want to throw them away, but I'd recommend keeping them. So. For next year, yeah. Ken and Cowboy M working on the knock, all the goons, other staff and unnamed helpers. I don't want to get up and have a giant love-in up here. Bob worked the AV gear at the last minute. Thanks, Bob. People worked the Hack Arcade. A round of applause for all the volunteers. Woohoo. Am I forgetting anything? Yeah. So, in summary, it's... No, wait, what about the badges? Oh.
We tried to put it together, but all the people that were in it weren't here, but they had a tracing of it, so they won anyway.
Yeah. It's a big rectangle.
It's 20 pieces. You're supposed to, like, you know, meet your neighbors and shit to see if your thing fits. Did anybody do that besides them? Did you try? What else? What do you want? Tell me what you want in the badges next year. Exploding badge? Actual puzzle pieces? They're actual puzzle.
They fit together. That's the definition.
Okay, next year I'll make like a big goatse or something. I don't
All right. So that's the badges. Any other random questions? It better be a good one or I'm not going to answer it. All right, so I was trying to get you guys out of here because I don't want to, I mean, what? Oh. All right, T-shirts will be for sale upstairs. The ShmooCon 2006 ones are kind of dated, so if you don't get them this time, you'll see them like on random people in the street at some point because they'll just be handing them out in the Woodley Park area. But anyway, a big round of applause for everybody that showed up because you guys made it all possible. And we look forward to seeing you next year, and have a safe and pleasant flight home or wherever the hell you came from. Doctor?
Yes. You're not coming shaved pussy?
I actually printed them. I wish. No, when are you going? My flight's at like 5 or something. I gotta go check. Yeah.
Johnny.